Well, we are here today with the gorgeous Serena Sandstrom for our 30 Days to Financial Fitness Challenge. And Serena, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us some of your tips.
Love to be here. Love to be here.
All right. So I want to just start off with letting everyone know that Serena and I both know each other through being global entrepreneurs online. We met about 18 months ago. I think we actually met in LA, even though we're both Aussies. So we were in a program together, and we've been, connecting over the last 18 months because we're both sharing a very similar journey of being online coaches. So Serena, I just want you to give us a little intro about yourself, how long you've been in the industry and where you're at today.
I have been in the industry for 4 years. I'm a business coach for early stage coaches, and I help my clients to find more clients and make more money as a coach, in a nutshell. And I've been a coach for 4 years, and I trained as a coach and an NLP master practitioner, and I was a transformational coach and a relationship strategist to begin with. I made about 50K in my first year, and I wasn't even online. And this was 4 years ago. And then obviously I took my business online because I really desired the location freedom. And now I live in Byron Bay. There is no way I could be running a multiple six figures a year business from Byron Bay if I wasn't able to use online marketing and reach clients globally. So now my business is fully online, and that's what I help my clients as well. I help them to create successful and sustainable coaching practices where they get to use specifically online marketing skills, and I help them with coaching skills, and I help them with the entrepreneurial mindset and the money mindset.
Yeah, and look, that's probably one of the main things that we're going to talk about today, is because being, specifically being an online female entrepreneur, as we know, can be tough going. There's some ups and downs, and you've got to have a rock solid mindset to get through this. And, we've spoken before that, for me, that's one of the things I've always been known for, is my rock solid mindset, having been in business for, nearly a decade myself. You as well, like we're, certain types of people who, can get through those challenges. I mean, God, look at, I've been through the GFC and all sorts, and still standing today. So what we're going to talk about specifically for the 30-day financial fitness challenge is, Serena, you're going to share with us your top 3 tips on being a businesswoman and getting financially fit. And a great segue into number 1, let's talk about the mindset piece, because this is something that you have really, really worked on for yourself and you work on for your clients. So I'd love to hear from you. What are some of your biggest takeaways that people can do literally over the next 30 days to get their money mindset in shape?
Can I come back to that after you said something really important there about, you have been in business for 10 years and you've gone through GFC, and I think this is really important for people to start understanding. I was a retail buyer for 14 years, and it's the same in retail. We had seasons that were fantastic. I was a buyer when we went through GFC. Yeah. I have learned to approach business, my coaching business and the online business that we have, which can seem externally that it's all just traveling and financial freedom and plenty of time, and you get all those things. Like Genine and I, we met in LA. We get to travel the world. We get to work from home, from our home office. We get to choose our own schedule. We have no bosses telling us what to do. We get to, march to our own drummer. But at the same time, we are both, we talked about this beforehand, we're both approaching business like real business owners, meaning We understand that businesses have seasons. There are high seasons and there are low seasons. We know how important this whole mindset work is to get through it all. And this online business, the rewards are incredible, as we've talked about, but it is no different to any other business in that requires investment, it requires time, it requires money, it requires commitment. And through that, you will get there. You will get the lifestyle, but you have to stop thinking that it's a quick fix and that it's an overnight success story and it's the holy grail that's going to give you your six-figure freedom-based lifestyle unless you treat it like a real business owner. Mm-hmm. We talked about how traditional businesses take a business loan for tens of thousands of dollars. You draw out a business plan and you often don't plan to break even until it's somewhere around the year 2 mark. Whereas it's sort of like there's this expectation that we'll just do one coaching program and we'll, in 6 months, then it's all set on autopilot and it's our freedom-based lifestyle and 6 or 7 figure income locked in. And that's not the mindset to have when you go to business. So I think like when I went to business, I set up myself as a company straight away.
Yeah.
I knew this was, I had a great career beforehand, and now becoming a coach, this will be my career for many, many, many more years. So I set up myself as a company. I hired myself a coach straight away. I started investing in my business. I hired my first VA. I started investing in my team. All those things that you do as a business owner, you have to invest. And I worked hard to get where I am. So all of these things are really important. And the mindset piece, coming back to your mindset question, Genine, is so important because it is not a quick fix. And the ups and downs are on that journey. So in terms of mindset, wealth consciousness to me is the piece that has been incredibly important for me. And I do this with my coach. I do this through reading books. I do this through listening to manifesting and abundance audios, in learning to see the world differently, because I am the first business owner in my family. I don't come from an entrepreneurial background. So I would say in terms of mindset, there's the money mindset piece that's hugely important, where you learn to see the world through different eyes, which is through the eyes of abundance, and you learn to, and gratitude is hugely important in this, then where you get to appreciate everything that you have and everything that you're going through. And when you start to see the world through the eyes of gratitude to everything, that creates fear creates scarcity, whereas gratitude creates abundance. So that's been one of the big shifts for me is learning to work with my fear, because anytime I go into fear, that creates scarcity. And anytime I go into gratitude and being thankful for everything that I have already, where I haven't achieved all of my goals yet. There are still a lot of goals to be achieved, but I am so grateful to everything that I have today and all of the experience on this journey, that creates more and more abundance. So that's like the wealth consciousness piece, and it's very directly linked with working with fear, which is obviously a huge piece that we need to work in terms of mindset as business owners.
Absolutely. And I'm really glad that we've brought up this piece around treating your business, whatever, like if it's an online business or, it's a business is not a hobby. Business needs to make money. Business invests money, and you need to look at your numbers and have all of that, business mindset around it, and having a great money mindset. But then to take to the next point that we want to talk about is that it can get confusing for people too about this mindset piece. So I've come across a lot of women who'd go, I'm doing the wealth consciousness every day, I'm reading the books and I'm doing that. but are you taking the action? Like, are you actually doing the masculine things? So number 2 point that you wanted to make today was about tracking your numbers. Can we talk a little bit about what you do there?
Yeah, I openly admit that I am an old-fashioned girl in terms of I like a good old Excel spreadsheet. I've recently moved to Google Docs and Google Sheets, which I'm loving. But basically, I have a really simple, now I work with a bookkeeper and an accountant. In my first year, I didn't have a bookkeeper, but until I did my tax return, like I've always, and that's another piece, I've always kept on top of my tax returns and all of those pieces, but I remember doing my first tax return and I just had like a weekend on the floor with all my stuff on the floor and highlighter pens and like, you know, so we've been there. So in terms of, but I started tracking straight away with a really simple, and it was to begin with, it's actually still today, it's my coaching log. I still use the same Excel spreadsheet. It's become a lot more advanced, but basically I track the clients. I know how many clients I've worked with, it actually tallies up how many coaching hours I've done because I had to track my coaching hours to begin with, but it tracks my income. So every sale I make, it goes there. And then also if it's a payment plan, it tracks, like I have the months running across the top, and I split it into the payment plans. I'm sure there are more advanced ways to do this, but I really like it because every time I know how many sessions clients have taken. I find it easy because it's so simple that it's open on my screen every day.
Yeah.
And so I track the sales I make, and then when it's a payment plan, I split it out so I can see immediately what money is coming in. And I could have, like, hand on heart said I tracked everything until a few months ago, when now I have more automated income. So now there's like smaller payments coming daily. So I don't go and put all of those onto the spreadsheet anymore. It would be crazy. But I still put all of the bigger amounts because it's really important for me to see what's coming in. And I also am aware what the outgoings are in terms of, I don't know every single like ClickFunnels payment or things like that that's going out, or the date when it's going out. But I still know to this day my higher fees, like my my coaching mastermind fee. I have a reminder in my calendar when that goes out, so that I can be aware when those bigger amounts go out to my team as well. Where so basically I know that I'm not going to run out of money because I don't know what's coming in and what's going out. And I think that's really important. So keep it really simple, but know the bigger amounts that are coming in and that are going out, because what I have found is the visibility is so important, because when the fear would mean that, like, if you're afraid to see what's going out, that again creates more scarcity. Whereas I've found that when I'm really openly looking at it, even when it's not looking good, like over the 4 years, there's been times when it hasn't looked so good. And particularly when, we are the type of people who invest a lot into our businesses. So I have found that knowing that there was possibly an issue, a cash flow issue, when I was aware how much it was, I was able to bring it in. Like, the universe worked with me. I went into action and I was able to, like, there's always been enough. Like, I had never run out because I was looking at it. And I reckon if I wasn't looking at it, I possibly would have run out, because it would have been like blinkers on. So track your money, really important.
Yeah. I love that so much, Serena, because I think that there are a lot of people who try and put their head in the sand around the money. So it's like, the confusion around the money mindset is like, oh yeah, I'm just going to feel high vibe and know that, trust the money's going to come. Absolutely. But please have a look at your bank account. Please have a look at what's actually coming in and what's going out, so that you can be prepared. One of the statements I love is clarity equals power. So when we're clear on what we've got coming in, what we've got needing to go out, that gives us the power to be able to do something about it. And I think women can, I'm talking women specifically because we all tend to have a lot of rubbish carrying around on our backs, that the resistance to looking at the numbers and the fear around it actually creates chaos. You know, oh God, no, what now? I've got to owe, you know, my coaching fees have just come up, like surprise, like you actually knew that 4 weeks ago. So it's, you know, I'm the same. I put reminders 3 days before everything big is due. So I've got time to go, ooh, hang on a sec, have I got that sorted? Or if not, I better go do something about it. So it's very much about taking that action, being really clear. So I love that, Serena. Thank you. The third point that I'd love you to talk about is about not doing this alone. You know, like as a business owner, you know, you're in Byron Bay. I'm currently here in Melbourne, sitting in our home offices. For you, how do you make sure that you don't feel lonely in business and get support?
As I said, I hired a coach straight away because I don't come from an entrepreneurial family. There are no business owners in my family. So for me, when I became a business owner, it was brand new, and I had none of this mindset work really. I had done personal development. That's why I became a coach, because it just became so exciting to me. But for example, like the money mindset stuff was not so hot those early days. So I knew I needed support, and I knew books weren't enough, because there is a lot of information and clarity we can get through books, but it is not allowing us. I also understood this because I was training as a coach. I know how the change happens at a neurological level, you know, our subconscious mind, and you can get to those kind of conversations only with a coach. So I hired myself a coach, so I had someone to model. Actually model in many ways. Model as a coach, model as a business owner, model for business structures. Yeah. And to this day, I work with the same coach. I've had other business coaches and masterminds that I've been part of, and I am today, but my head coach is still the same.
Yeah.
And I really love that. So I got her, and then I started joining masterminds. So all the time for the last 3 years now, I have been part of a mastermind, as well as I have my head coach. And this allows me to then not only have that one point of contact and support and reference point, someone to model, I have my sisterhood, because I love working from my home office. I actually sometimes I realize that I'm very, like, I'm an outgoing person. I'm not shy, but I'm an introvert. I love spending time on my own. I love spending time with my family. And I don't need to be in the big city all the time, but it can get lonely at times. I don't actually even like, I don't actually get lonely, but basically, yeah, you know what, like I love my own stuff, and I don't even work from, I can't go to a coffee shop and work from my laptop. I like to be here, burn my candles and have my own surrounding. But what I do need is the connection with my mastermind sisters. So Genine and I, we're in the same mastermind, so we get to connect. It's like we get to have this dialogue where we get to be really real and honest with ourselves. We get to celebrate when things are going great guns. We get to reach out to each other when there's a question or an issue. And that is so important with the money mindset work as well, and like being financially fit, because we get to model each other. We get to together lift our joint wealth consciousness, because we're all going for big goals. We all have big goals and dreams. We all think in the same way. And often it can be difficult if friends and family don't understand the different ways of being as an entrepreneur, where you take much bigger risks, where you really back yourself, where you invest in yourself, and you're not afraid to do that. I'm not saying it's always easy, but it's a different way of looking at it. You're prepared to take those risks, right? And when you have other people around you doing that, it actually starts to feel normal. Where for someone else, it's like so scary. For us, it's pretty normal. Yeah. So having that sisterhood is really important to keep the mindset high and lift the mindset, because what's the saying? Your own wealth consciousness is the average of the top of the 5 people who you spend most time with, and it really is the case.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, I couldn't agree more. So I would say to people too, like having a coach, I believe if you're in any business, you've got to have a coach. Like I very first started my business without a coach, and I went through a couple of years, and oh my God, it didn't need to be that hard. Like mindset was, it didn't need to be that hard. And I remember the first day that, it was funny, a woman came to me, and this is when I had magazines, and she said, I'll take you out for lunch and we'll talk about her advertising in the magazine. I'm like, great, new client. Anyway, and she started talking to me about, do you have a coach? And I think for us Australians back then, I'm like, a coach, duh, like, oh, who wants to have a coach? Isn't that so American? Yeah. This is what we're like, and a little bit like today. But I tell you what, the second that I got that coach, she was a life coach through and through. It wasn't even business.
Yeah.
The second I got that coach, whoa, my whole world changed. I call her my Lynn Levitt. Her name's Lynn Levitt. And, she's my turning point in my life. And I could not have been the businesswoman I am without her as my initial coach, but then all of my coaches since then. So I've only had three different coaches. So again, I like to commit, so I and with a coach for 6 months, 12 months at least. It's the same, it's like about committing to that person and committing to you as well. And I think that's really super important. So, I know some of the people listening to that are either coaches themselves, want to be coaches, and so forth. So let's talk about, being a newbie coach. Like, you actually have a program. You mainly support women who want to be coaches. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I support both brand new coaches and early to mid-stage coaches, because my business now is at a level of, multiple six figures a year, and I've got my high-level group mastermind, and I have automated products and programs. So we're talking about Coaches MBA, which is my 6-month mastermind. That's the program that Genine is referring to. And when I first ran the program, it was more new coaches. And now in the last group, we have actually an amazing mix of both brand new coaches, but we also have more the early to mid-stage coaches who have come to the program and work with me to actually focus on sales funnels and Facebook advertising and automation, and to take their business from still that kind of roller coaster to more consistent clients and cash, and also to create online programs and create group programs. So that's how I support my clients. I have Coaches MBA is enrolling at the moment. So we have the super early bird enrollments are open at the moment. The program starts early July, but right now we are in the super early bird enrollments, which means that there are some amazing bonuses available. But I don't know if I mentioned that it's a 6-month mastermind. Yeah. So it's interesting because I'm so used to talking about my program to my audience who have questions about it, but who kind of know what it is. But I think I need to just talk a bit more about the program, because your audience may not be so familiar with me. So this is
we'll put a link as well in the email too. We'll put a link to the program. So so it's 6 months. Yeah.
So it's a 6-month mastermind. It's a 6-month training program and mastermind for early stage coaches, where I teach. It focuses on 3 pillars, which are entrepreneurial and money mindset mastery, which we've talked about how important it is. sales and marketing skills. So specifically online marketing skills for coaches and consultants, where we do sales funnels and Facebook advertising and landing pages and all that stuff. I teach you that email marketing. I even teach webinars in this program, which often isn't included in these type of programs. So I'm including all of the key pieces to create your coaching practice and launch it and start making money. So the third piece is the coaching skills. Because I am a trained coach and I'm an NLP master practitioner, I take this really seriously, in that I desire to be a great coach for my clients. I've done well over 1,000 private coaching hours by now. And also, I know there's a lot of new coaches coming to the market, and I know there's even some bad experiences that people have gone through. And it's one of my passions to help more coaches feel comfortable and confident with their coaching skills. So when their funnel is working and when they have clients coming in, that they actually know what to do with those clients, how to facilitate their programs and packages in a way that feels really great, and that they get raving fans. So the client, how to help your clients get results. Yeah. So all of those three pillars is what I teach in this program. It's a traditional group program in most ways, in that there's group calls, there's a Facebook group with me. I don't do boring office hours, so basically 5 to 6 days a week I'm there in the group helping people out with their questions. You don't have to wait until Thursday afternoon for office hours. We have weekly group calls, we have guest mentors, the training content obviously through the dedicated mastermind membership site. The difference in Coaches MBA is there's 2 tracks. So you can either do the group track, but you can also join as a VIP. And VIP is, you can probably tell I'm pretty passionate about private coaching and the more intimate client relationship. I love my VIPs. So I have a VIP track that also gets 5 one-on-one coaching sessions with me. So those are there to use during the 6 months when you want a deeper dive into mindset work, when there's some blocks coming up, or if you want a deeper sales page review or Facebook ads review or something like that. So that's actually my sweet spot. I've always worked with a private coach and been in a mastermind, so I really love that. But having said that, if someone is just really new and feels like they just want to join a group program and get an experience of that, right now, I do have a bonus for you, which you know about, that if anyone joins through Genine, you will get a one-on-one coaching session with me. So even if you join as a group track member, you will get a bonus one-on-one coaching session with me. If you join as a VIP, you will get 6 instead of 5 sessions. So that's obviously for Genine's community. And what you need to do is you need to let me know when we speak that actually you heard about the program through Genine.
Yeah, awesome. And I'm just laughing a little bit because Serena and I are very similar. It's so funny. Like, we could run off these programs that were like, here's the content, just go do it. And, sit back and have a little cup of tea. But we're both so passionate about one-on-one coaching. We both have one-on-one coaches as well as our mastermind, So what I would implore people, going back to number 3, is that you've got to have a coach. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a coach and I coach people. I truly believe in that extra support because, Serena, with like your program, the VIP track, those people actually have far better results, don't they? It's like,
yes,
that, and it's same with my group programs that we've just completed at the moment. The people who took the VIP track, they're up here. They're making money. They're getting the clients. And, I do laugh because as much as I'm like, yeah, join my mastermind, people are like, no, can I join the one-on-one? But it's great, isn't it? And I think, each person is individual as well. And that is why having that extra individual support, for me, it's a no-brainer. So
yeah. And I didn't mention the investment yet. This is in Australian dollars, which anyone who's tuning in from US, UK, Europe, it's for you. So, the investment I have, there's painful, and I even have a 10-month payment plan. I get you guys, and we've talked about this this business, being a business owner, that cash flow early on it's critical. And I get that. So I have an extended 10-month payment plan as well. So you can get started as low as 550 Australian dollars, which is about $400, 300 pounds down. That's for the group track. The VIP track is $1,500 extra, but that's for 5 plus bonus sessions. So that's incredible value. And this is because when you come and join Coaches MBA and hang out with me and your mastermind sisters and do the program, it's such a joy for me to do those one-on-one sessions with you when I start to get to know you better. But I have people who are doing the group track who are absolutely brand new coaches, and it's the first level of, it's already a big investment. Like it's the group is $4,500 in full. Obviously there's a payment plan. That feels a lot of money for them. I respect that when you're a brand new coach, but you get to join a mastermind and a training program with a successful, high-level experienced coach such as myself.
Yeah.
And
and I want to jump in there, Serena, and say too that one of the discussions that our mastermind's been having is that there is a lot of noise in the market. There is a lot of new coaches coming out into the marketplace and all that, which is great, awesome. 2 things. I want to make sure those new coaches, number one, are not coming to this marketplace because they see the glitz and the glamour and think that it's all super easy. I want them to come in and go, all right, let's listen to what people like Serena and Genine are saying about you've got to treat it like an actual business, get your money mindset together, look at your figures, big clarity, outsource and invest in it, and surround yourself with, like-minded people and coaches to keep you on track. But secondly too, it's, if you don't come into this marketplace with the right support and the right systems from the people who've actually been doing it for a long time, and I want to really ram home this point that there is, people like Serena, who's been doing it for 4 years. Me, I've been doing it for 4 years or more. Not necessarily me doing coaching for coaches, but coaching any woman in any business. Yeah, about that, but it's not. It's true. It's go with the people who've got the runs on the board. And an investment with someone like Serena is priceless. I'm not saying this from a sales point of view, but, I'm really passionate about going, there's women who've been there, done that, done the proven, the track record. They've seen the highs, they've seen the lows and gotten through it all. Being consistent in the business.
Yeah. I've experienced both, and I can talk to that and that's why I'm really grateful that I have experienced both places, because, and it wasn't just like starting here and going up. It's been, there's been this. So now when my clients experience these tough times, I can support them, but I don't become part of the problem by going into fear and thinking, oh my God, it's not working out for them. What am I going to do? How am I going to coach them? They're going to think I'm a bad coach. Like, this is really important, because I know there's a lot of clients who then they go into fear because they think, oh, I don't know, like my client is not getting results. Today I know what I do and what I teach is it works, but everyone has their own journey. But also when you're working with me and you have a challenge, I know how to coach you through that in a way that only increases your self-belief and passion and drive, instead of ending up in a downward spiral and ending up quitting. And this is really important, because I'm not afraid when there's a challenge, because I've experienced that. Yeah. And I know I'm okay. I've come through all those challenges, and I think it's really important. It is a really important point to be able to have these skills. And that's what I'm just really thrilled to be able to, or for all of the women who are joining this round of Coaches MBA, to be able to teach everything I know about coaching, but also all these success mastery pieces and what's going to get you the results sustainably and long term.
That's it. Good. Awesome. Well, Serena, like just to quickly recap, Serena's 3 top tips were money mindset, track your figures, and surround yourself with people who are going to lift you up. And, you know, we've covered off quite a few other really key important parts today that I think it's really time that we started speaking truthfully about business. Like having an online business is fantastic. Like both Serena and I, we support a lot of our family. Like, you know, I'm the breadwinner and basically so are you. And, you know, the other thing just before we finish up today is that what I wanted to recap though is that going to an online business and having it just on your own personal brand is fabulous and it's fun. But there's a certain point too that you've got to have risk management. And what both Serena and I have done recently is actually created a secondary business to our fold. And, you know, mine is Iconic Empire. So I'm doing a digital done-for-you service agency from VA to funnels to the works. And it's going bananas. Like, I can't keep up. So it's great. Really, really good. But that for me is creating more of that empire type business and sustainable longevity. So it's not just relying on me all of the time. Serena, tell us about your new business launching soon too.
Yeah, I'm so excited about this because this is a different type of, for me as a coach and as a marketer, I'm really excited about this because this is a different type of automated funnel that I have in my own business. Yet it's a business that's actually called Beyond Booze. It's based on my husband's personal transformation from having been addicted to alcohol to sobriety. And I have traveled part of this journey, his journey with him. It started way before we met. I actually met him on a yoga retreat when he was already searching and dealing with the problem he had. He had a successful business. Like externally people wouldn't have thought he had any need to drink, but behind the scenes he wasn't dealing with the stress of, he was a business owner, he was the main breadwinner, the marriage was a war zone, and there were things going on behind the scenes that alcohol was the only way he could cope as a man. He didn't have yoga and meditation and mindfulness and spirituality and everything that he now has today. So we met on a yoga retreat but the journey wasn't over. So I've traveled with him on this journey to sobriety and experienced the power of coaching. We actually share the same coach. So our coach, we have done a lot of relationship work with our coach, and there have been so many gifts from this experience. We are closer than ever. We have a beautiful future we're creating together. And so we've created a program, which is the ultimate program to getting sober. It is an online program and community for men and women who are either drinking too heavily or who have a more serious addiction to alcohol. And it is everything that Derek has done to get and remain sober through several years, and everything that I know as a transformational coach that we brought together. And it is an online program where there's modules, training and content, a lot of mindset work obviously, and to help people understand the deeper triggers and deal with their fears and anxiety, which is that alcohol always comes as a solution. It doesn't start that way. So, and we have calls to help our members to obviously speak to us and get support. And we have a private members community. So this is very unique and new. We don't know any other program that's like this. And a lot of people are already, it's not live quite yet. We are literally at the last probably week or 2 weeks away from it, but we're getting tons of queries because it's a lot of people say AA doesn't work for them. It's old school, and we're creating something really new. So I'm really excited to be obviously putting my skills as a marketer into this program, because it is an automated evergreen webinar funnel, how it's going to be sold. And we have a membership program also that continues on from that. But these are the kind of things that when you start to build an empire, like you talked about, it becomes, for me, I have my business coaching, and now we have Beyond Booze, and they're two different businesses, but we're building our empires, and it's so exciting to be able to this is like our legacy business with Derek. Like, we just know we're going to help thousands of men and women and change families' destinies. It feels so incredible.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of you for, going through what you went through and coming out, seeing the gold from all of that, yourself and Derek, obviously, as a family, and I think shows the point that we all go through the highs and the lows for a reason. Nothing ever is not for a reason, no matter how low you are. I've shared recently that I went through a breakdown back in October last year, and there's so much gold that I couldn't have seen unless I went right down and, took a good look. So, it takes a brave person to actually make that into something that has so much gold and that is beyond them. So congratulations on that. I can't wait for that to launch. So we'll also pop in some details, through our communication with our members here about that too. So if you know anyone who needs that sort of support, what should we do, Serena? What's the best thing at the moment?
So because it's not anyone who's interested in, anyone who knows, because this is literally what's happening. I have women in my community private messaging me and saying, my friend's fiance is struggling with alcohol. When is the program going live? This literally, I got a message yesterday. So I'm actually writing people's names down and saying, we have a wait list as well. But just send me a private message. Serena Sandstrom, you will find me on Facebook. It's easy. So send me a private message if that's something that's that you think would be helpful for someone in your family or in your friends, your community. And then also, I don't think I gave the link for Coaches MBA either yet.
No, but you can send it to me and we'll put it down in the section below. Yeah.
So, but just so if anyone's wanting to go and check it out straight away, it's coaches-mba.com. So coaches-mba.com is the program page for that. Very different businesses. And I'm super excited to be able to be working on both, and everything I'm learning through, putting in this new business and automated funnel in place is I'm able to bring that to my coaching clients, which is just so beautiful as well.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, you're a powerhouse, Serena. We've got a powerhouse mastermind. We're a pretty powerhouse team, and some of the women that we hang out with. And, we thank you so much for being part of the 30 Days to Financial Fitness Challenge. And if anyone wants to check out the details, I'll have a link below. And that's for both Beyond Booze and also for Coaches MBA. So thanks, Serena, for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. Always lovely to hang out with you. And I'll catch you soon in our mastermind.
Sounds good. Thanks, darling. Bye.
Okay. Bye, darling.